That's a house plant. Yeah.
It's vile. Isn't it? Anyway, it has been far too long since we've actually recorded anything because
Right.
we are hermits now, and the world is on fire.
And what show are they listening to?
Oh, what show are we listening to? Oh yeah, welcome to So What'd You Learn, where we learn from other people's mistakes so you don't have to. I'm Alex,
I'm Zach.
I'm Dallas.
and yeah, it's been. I think today's a loose lesson.
It is a loose lesson.
Loosey goosey.
Loosey goosey.
Lucy untitled Loosey Goosey podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I'm for one excited to be back in the Solid Gold studio today.
Yes, and we are all sitting 6 feet apart from each other.
Yep, with face masks.
Except Dallas.
Almost all of us.
Asshole.
Yeah. Sorry.
Shame him on the internet.
Yeah. Now if you get sick, it'll be my fault.
Just like New Orleans.
Yeah, that was different. That was
That was alcohol poisoning. That's what that was.
no, I got him sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that led to a big dehydration.
Yeah, I woke up the morning before we went to New Orleans, sick as fuck, and I told Zach, and he was just like, well, I'm not gonna not go. Like, you can't just not go to the See Last podcast on the Left Live.
I mean, you just kind of make the okay with yourself. This is horrible to say right now that I'm just going to get sick and that's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Eesh.
Yeah, it doesn't
Aged
age
like
well.
milk, didn't
It
it?
sure did, buddy.
Yeah, when you share a hotel room for 3 days.
4 days.
It was 4 days?
Yeah, 4.
3.5, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
we're back
what-
here recording, doing our thing.
Yeah.
We figured we'd, just start again.
Yeah, we'd give the audience of 4 people what they want, which is more. So what'd you learn?
Yes. God, you just, when you have an audience like that, you just want to
Yeah,
make them
it's
happy.
we do anything for you guys.
We love you.
guys. Yeah.
France?
France.
Talking to you?
I don't think the guy from France is listening anymore.
Aw.
I think he listened to that
Cats can
one.
carry coronavirus, and Podcat is currently saying hello to everybody in the studio.
Yes, Podcat has missed us all.
Yeah. And he's been
You're infectiously adorable, podcast.
he's been quivering on the kitchen counter for some reason that gives him a feeling of safety all day because they've been cutting trees, and I've never seen him so upset.
What a sad day.
Sad day for cats.
Turns out he's the Lorax.
That also means it's Danny DeVito, so be
Oh,
careful
God,
for that.
I forgot Danny DeVito was the Lorax.
Didn't you just?
Ugh, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, so this whole period has been very interesting for everyone. And for the sake of beating a dead horse, I guess we're going to talk about what we have learned during quarantine, I guess, stay at home, but from 3 different perspectives.
Yes.
One who works from home, one who was unfortunately laid off, and one who is a quote-unquote essential employee.
Yes, we got the Triforce here of
Yeah,
coronavirus.
yes, queen. I hate myself for saying that.
It's okay.
Yeah. So, who wants to start? Anyone? Rock,
Yes.
paper, scissors,
Who,
Rochambeau.
working from home?
Yeah, sure.
Who works from
worker?
home? Yeah.
Call him, eh? Yeah, so essentially, I think it was right after we recorded in March where my work issued like the whole, hey, come in on Friday and get all your shit because you're not coming back to the office till we don't know when. And at first I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. Like, I can just work from home,
I'm not
roll
gonna
out of
wear pants
bed.
ever.
Yeah.
Turns out working from home is pretty great, pretty productive. I mean,
You can handle it.
I think we hit our quota today, so that's dope.
Huh.
As a company, not just a individual team. And yeah, everything's going really well. Like, all my meetings are just one-touch login meetings, and my schedule's all right there, and I pretty much just have to,
So it's
work
pretty easy peasy for you.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking easy. And the whole scope of things. Oh, Mac, you're showing everybody your little udders.
Don't call it. Good lord.
You know you can milk anything with tits, right?
He's been so
Thanks, Fokker.
he's socially starved. He doesn't want to just talk to me all day.
That's
He's
true.
like, I'm show everyone my tummy because I'm super
Look at
comfortable.
my tummy.
Big fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, though. We watched that today for lunch.
Nice.
But anyway, so working from home is pretty cool. Like, when I just make my lunch, watch some Lost, go back to work, take a nap, it's all.
So you're thriving.
Yeah.
Well, in a
Well,
way.
so I was thriving in a way for a while. It's May 20 something now.
May
and-
22nd, second day of
22nd.
summer.
Is it
really?
Sure?
Yeah.
We fucking miss spring.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Damn it. Why did I have this realization right now?
I don't know, but the first day of summer was yesterday as of per this recording, so we missed solstice. We missed the summer solstice.
Well, fuck me. That's
Fuck
depressing.
that, I know.
Well, yeah. Anyway, I gather that we can all work from home, and it's pretty much totally fine for the most part. The part that is hard is everything being closed. So working from home is just the worst when everything is closed and you can't escape your own life.
I
Yeah.
see. Once the quarantine has really started down, it really came untenable for you.
Yeah. So and I'm also been suffering on and off from an ear infection since March. So that's been like really cool. I can't even
Yay.
like drink myself into entertainment because
Because,
Ear
like a
infection.
responsible human, you're not drinking while on antibiotics.
correct,
Yes.
which won't kill you, but you probably won't get better.
You
No.
won't get better, and it'll
Because,
give give the
you know what
disease
I-
or whatever it is a better chance to be like antibiotics. That's cute.
Yeah. Well, you know what I did on my first round of antibiotics? I was drinking.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
why
guess
you're
what I
on
had to
round
do?
2.
Round 2.
Yep.
So learn that lesson. Good thing it's just an ear infection, but
Except now you have to get stronger antibiotics next time you get an infection.
yeah, every time. And yeah, I made the
And
mistake of
your
looking up.
infections are only an inch away from your fucking brain, so
Yeah.
there's that.
I looked up. I made the mistake of looking up pictures of ear infections.
Oh,
and
no.
it was bad.
Yeah, it's like looking up pictures of bad STDs. You just don't do it.
No,
My
you don't.
doctor's office growing up, we went to Group Health, which was like right down the street from where I live now, but it's also pretty close to where I grew up. And the posters they would have in the office, there was like one for like back muscles, and then there was one that was like ear infections and like ear shunts. When you like put in a shunt in your eardrum so
with
it
the
can
little plastic.
so it can leak its ooze and not get infected. Like for some reason that is like seared into my brain.
God.
It's
You
like
got it tattooed into your brain.
yeah. So when you're like looking at pictures, I was like, oh yes, my old friends.
Now, see, my dentist just had a picture of Seinfeld.
friend.
Jesus.
I just got haunted by Jerry Seinfeld in my dentist office.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was him doing like this on the poster.
Oh,
which
no.
you couldn't see.
Spread
obviously.
eagle.
Yeah, spread eagle. All points
That's number
out.
12. The spread eagle.
I think it was later used for his
24?
autobiographies cover.
Oh Jesus. One of my dentists had stuffed animals, but with human teeth. That was revolting and horrifying.
That sounds horrifying.
Awful. Anyway, Dallas, back to you.
Oh, yeah. So all in all, working from home, great. Everything being closed makes it really horrible.
Yes, because you're a social man.
Yeah, I am. And yeah, I like to leave Mac alone for long periods of time unattended.
Just so he doesn't get too attached for when you eventually rehome him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, look at him. He's so squinty and confused all the time. Yeah, so that pretty much sums up my quarantine experience so far. I just go through phases of binge watching Lost and then playing World of Warcraft for far too long at a time.
It's like
and
you're
I'm just
15
going
again.
Yeah, I'm just going back. It is kind of like I'm 15 again because I remember being homesick and watching Lost, but I had the like a VHS like small VHS TV on my desk next to my monitor while playing WoW and watching Lost. I'm just reliving the same cycle over and over again.
Love it.
Yeah. That's funny that I remember that now. Anyway, that is pretty much sums up my experience so far.
Right on.
Monotonous.
Well, as for me, my this quarantine and I don't know, pandemic outbreak has certainly changed my lifestyle. I lost my job that I've had for like 6 years, which, you know, it sucked, but luckily I was one of the first people, because my boss let me. We kind of all saw this thing coming, so he shut down really early, and I was able to get on unemployment pretty early.
Oh, good.
I was in the first wave of.
Poor choice of words, but
No, actually, I don't think it is. I think it is. I think I was the first wave of unemployment filers in this country, because there's, well, like 20 million of us, 30 million of us now.
30.
Yeah. But yeah, so I jumped through all those hoops early enough, luckily, and got on the unemployment. So I've just been sitting my ass at home.
Yeah.
Just kind of collecting checks for the government. Never thought I'd be doing it, but given circumstances, what can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, quarantine's been pretty chill. I've been doing a lot of walking. We have some really nice parks in the area.
Yeah.
My car broke down for 2 weeks, and I didn't fix it, and I felt no obligation to, and it was really nice.
Word. Love it. Yeah, but you've spent time with your bun.
Yeah, I got the little bunny that I'm quarantined with, so that's been nice. Had my 30th birthday in quarantine.
Happy birthday.
That was a strange one, but I still got to, I got to Skype call with some friendos, and had a friend of mine come over, and we had dinner, and we're the only two people that have been in contact with each other, so that's nice, I guess.
Yeah.
So
And you're also watching Lost?
I am. You fuckers got me. You fucking lassoed me in, you pricks.
Now you'll never get away.
Yeah, I'm done. No, I'm like almost finished. I have 4 more episodes in season 1. It took about 9 episodes to get me hooked, but you got me hooked. So
You got 1 more episode, and then the finale's 3 episodes.
I saw that. Yeah, I did. Look
Exodus
ahead.
part 1, 2, and 3, baby.
Oh, gotta have it.
Yeah.
Exodus.
How are they gonna get? Are they gonna get off the island? There's only 5 more seasons.
You say that,
Yeah,
but you may be surprised.
I'm sure.
Fucking love that show.
Well, it finally took a pandemic, but you got me to watch it.
Yeah, it's 15. Actually, today, as of recording, is the 10-year anniversary of the finale of the series.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Are you
kinda
gonna
funny.
watch it tonight?
I'm going to make Chance watch it.
Awesome.
I'm going to
Do
be
it.
like, we're on season 6. We have like half of it left to go.
I know what we're doing.
Sitting
Well-
the fuck down and we're watching it.
I was re-listening to one of our old episodes because,
Nostalgia. Posterity.
Sure.
yeah. What's that called?
Narcissism.
Get a little conceited now, are we? Yeah, narcissism. If you haven't seen Weirdo Donald Glover, please watch it. Make more
It's like,
sense.
what was that bit where he's like, someone gave him shit for listening to his own music?
Yeah, somebody gave him shit for listening to his own music, like a date that he picked up. You listen to your own music? And then he's like, yeah. If I worked at Subway and came home and made a sandwich, you wouldn't be like, getting a little conceited now, are we? It's my favorite. One of my favorite bits.
So
That's
good.
solid.
So good.
But yeah, I was listening to one of our old episodes, and for some reason, Zach said I won't watch Lost until I'm on my hospital deathbed.
They got close.
It got close. I was like, this is about
It took unemployment, a back injury, and a pandemic to
to watch Lost, but it's finally happening.
But yeah, honestly, overall, this is incredibly weird to say, especially in front of an essential worker, but quarantine has been incredibly easy for me, and I'm making more money than I did before.
Man, that's
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. I guess it's a good segue into my quarantine experience. What quarantine experience? Other than the fact that all the things I like to do are closed, I still go to work every day and deal with the public,
Fine.
which is great in the sense that I like having a job, I have something to do every day that brings in the income.
Sure.
But the problem is I'm dealing with people. So I work in a business that has done reasonably well when it comes to its pandemic response. Pay the workers $2 extra an hour, provided a number of weeks of half pay if you go home with COVID-like symptoms. You get, I think, 2 weeks of half of your scheduled wages.
Okay.
You can go on leave, and still have your job.
So they're really doing everything you would want a company to do.
Yes,
But-
within their abilities, because it's it's still a relatively small company. They don't have millions and millions of dollars in the bank. Our profit margins are very low, so we don't have a lot of slush fund, especially when a lot of that profit is being spent on benefits for employees, like medical, vision, dental, life insurance, 401k, all that sort of stuff. And they're putting up like screens and stuff. We like have the social distancing tape marks on the floor. We even have
yes.
a hand washing station in
Yes.
in the front, which is a good thing because it's a little camping sink that has water in it and soap, and you wash your hands like you were taught when you were a
Imagine that.
kid, right? And we all know that how you were taught to wash your hands is the most effective way to wash your hands. We also have hand sanitizer. So it's like an either or. But dealing with the public is a fucking nightmare because people come in, you're like, hey, we're asking everyone to either wash their hands or sanitize. And most people are fine. They're like, oh, okay. They either wash their hands or they sanitize. And that's great. I prefer people to sanitize, even though hand washing is quote unquote more effective. It's only more effective if you wash your hands properly.
20 seconds.
20 seconds getting all in those little nooks and crannies.
Ooh, like an English muffin.
Yes. Nooks and crannies. Alcoves is the right word.
I'm having
Alcoves.
flashbacks to my 4th grade teacher yelling at us for not washing our hands properly.
And they were right. Yeah, it's just we've been given the authority to provide up to 4 options for people who don't want to wash their hands. You can wash your hands or sanitize. You can wait outside and call us on the phone. We can do your stuff over the phone. You can go home and do it online and then drive over. We'll bring it out to your car, you lazy fuck.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, there's no reason for this to be an issue.
There's no reason for this to be an issue because standing there arguing about it is wasting more time of your life than simply washing your fucking hands.
But my freedoms, Alex.
How many so I'm sure you don't greet every guest that comes in, not just you, but I'm sure all the floor staff.
I
take
imagine you do
turns.
it like a TGI
But-
We
Fridays.
take turns, but we try to get every single person. Sometimes people will
Sure.
slip through. Some people are like, they just dart right in. They're like, oh, I just did it before I came in the door. It's like, okay, fine. Assume good intentions. But
Out of 10 people that I'm sure you probably greet more than 10 people a day, but out of 10, how many give you flack as opposed to just doing it?
on
On an average, yeah.
out of 10 people, I would say 1/8 of a person.
So it's only these trickling of
So one
assholes.
out of 8.
No, I would say 1 out of 80.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's saying it's less. It's very
Less
rare,
than 1 in 10.
but
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
annoying when it happens.
It's very annoying, especially the people that will. I mean, some people will roll their eyes and be like, "Ugh, really?" And you're like, "Yes." Actually, this is
Yeah,
what we're
really,
asking of
fucker.
everyone, but it's
It's not just you.
It's well, kind of. It's always older men.
Oh, yeah.
Shocker.
Well, not always. There has been some women, but
Yeah,
most of the
there's
time
always outliers.
it's older men. And they're awful. Hear that? Any older men listening, I hate you.
Well, I had a
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I had a, speaking of that,
It's only our fathers that listens.
Yeah, love you, Dad.
I had a contractor that was over at the house a few days ago, and he is an older man, and older man contractor. Lots of contractors coming through, but he started talking about coronavirus and like he wanted to start talking about like if we thought it was real or not. And I was
Oh,
like,
Lord.
yeah, I have another thing. And like me and Chris just kind of looked at each other. And he's like, what do I do?
Ugh.
And so we got him out of there. And yes, I will pay him, but
Oh, had he already seen Chris?
yeah.
Oh,
Chris is
damn. Because he could have, like, put on a little bit of white cake makeup, take a little bit of water, like, spritz his forehead, and just, like, stumbled out coughing, be like, I think I'm dying, Dallas.
Oh God, was
And it
all
would've
those
been great.
doorknobs you were licking?
Jesus. Yeah, we had a lady come in yesterday, and my coworker who I was working with is wonderful because her level of fuck this shit is right under the surface.
Yeah,
Like, she
bubbling
is-
like a cauldron
Yeah, exactly.
or Yellowstone.
And her and I have both been very frustrated with people in general for a while. As any customer service worker, you will hate people after a while.
Naturally.
Yeah, some people call it jaded.
It's true. Some people call it customer service.
And you call it a paycheck.
I call it a paycheck.
It's difficult.
Yeah, this lady comes in and she's using her hand washing station, and it is a camping sink. It has a basin of water in the stand and a foot pedal.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like those big blue plastic ones they used to have at festivals and stuff.
It's a little more spindly. It's like it looks like a little elegant bathroom sink, but it's plastic and
So they fancied it up a little.
yeah.
As much as they can.
And you put foot pedal in it, the water comes out the spigot, you wash your hands. Oh, by the way, those listening, when you wash your hands, get your hands wet first, then apply soap.
I never understand why people don't do that.
Soap is not lotion. Soap is soap. It needs water to work.
I had somebody tell me that was a waste of time one time, and I don't know why they were watching me wash my hands, but
What was a waste of time? Getting
putting
hands
water on first, then soap, then more water.
What time is that saving you?
Because
you could be on your deathbed
It's
with
not a
30
waste of
seconds to spare.
time
Yeah.
because for someone who comes in, this is a tangent about hand washing. Not even sorry about it. When you put soap on your hands and you rub your hands together, you're just smearing soap around your hands.
Sure, with dirt and whatever
With
is on
dirt.
your hands.
When you get your hands wet first and apply soap, it lathers almost instantly. The lather,
Bubbles.
the bubbles, is what gets into the nooks and crannies and lifts away dirt and germs and oils.
Oxidization.
Exactly. So you need that foam action to really get all the stuff. It's also easier to spread around your hands and your difficult to reach areas, and then you rinse it off. But the number of people who come in who just get a handful of soap and then rub their hands together and then rinse the soap off, I'm like, you don't know what you're doing.
You wasted soap.
You're wasting my soap, you're wasting my water, you're wasting my fucking air. So yes, this lady comes in and she's washing her hands, and it's I was saying it's not connected to plumbing. It is a basin of water
And
that
the
then
dirty
is
water
fed into
goes.
a gray water bucket that we empty, and then we'll refill the basin, right, or the reservoir, and it's not connected to plumbing. There's no hot water, right? So would it be better if it was hot water? Sure,
course. Like a bidet.
like
It's,
a
it's
bidet.
better with hot water, but
But-
I'd rather have it than nothing.
Exactly. And she comes in, she's like, guys, cold water is not going to kill coronavirus. And we're just up at the front, and my coworker's like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, I mean, cold water isn't really gonna kill coronavirus. I mean, you should know that.
Hey guys,
And then my coworker, without missing a beat, is like, oh, no, we know. That's why we put soap there. It's a hand washing station.
I
was
forgot
like,
when it.
I love you so much.
I forgot when it hit 90 last week that all the coronavirus died here.
Oh yeah. It just went on and died.
Yeah, just kill it all. It's not like it's constantly being reproduced by people who are sick.
Don't worry, in summer it's
Exactly.
going to go away, guys.
Oh God. So I guess long story short, dealing with the public is stressful and annoying. Having a job though is like kind of a light silver lining to dealing with the public.
Sure.
But also in that respect, since nothing is open, I'm not finding as many ways to spend my money. So I'm effectively making more money by not getting rid of all of it before I can save it.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I mean, besides getting Snack Hero delivered over and over again,
But Snack Hero is the bomb as shit.
It is
so good.
So fucking good.
Yeah, besides that, like, my expenses are surprisingly down, and the stuff
It's
I
not
have
that
been
surprising.
saving. Huh?
It's not that surprising.
It's not that surprising because there's nowhere to spend my fucking money. But it's like I'm working in Alaska or something, and there's nothing to do after
Sure,
work.
you finally know why people in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I was thinking that maybe, we can share. I can start with a local quarantine story, but I was thinking that while we're recording, we can start sharing our Washington Corona freakouts.
Sure, send you random shit you seen, people freaking out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Alex has more, but
No,
I
I
guess-
mean, not particularly.
No? Uh-huh.
My coworker, the one I was mentioning, actually did ask someone to shop elsewhere because she offered,
Nice.
like, would you wash your hands? No. Hand sanitizer? No. Curbside pickup? No. Online ordering? No, I just want to shop. It's like, well, then you should shop elsewhere because those are your options.
Are those people that just like to just go to stores to walk around and they don't buy anything, or they buy crap they don't need?
I don't know. I can't really. I have empathy as a human being, right? Like I can kind of, when someone is sad, I can recognize that, and I'm like, oh, that person is sad. I feel sad that they're sad.
Sure.
I cannot put my brain in what I have no idea. Like they are an alien. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Wild stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, your coworker was.
Oh no, she asked someone to leave the other day and not shop elsewhere because he was being a dick. And that's about the extent of my Washington State coronavirus freakout stories.
I saw a road rage freak out, but that wasn't much of anything.
Yeah, I don't know if the rest of the world noticed, at least here in the Seattle area, like late March, early April, people were driving like fucking insane all the time. And I had no idea why. I've never seen that many like crazy drivers.
Well, I know the freeways were empty, which never happens in Seattle.
Yeah.
So it was unprecedented. I mean, I drove around a few times enjoying the luxury of living in my own post-apocalyptic fantasy.
Yeah, like getting on the West Seattle Bridge with nobody on it. It's like, whoa.
It was wild. So yeah, I imagine
R.I.P.
there's
West
people.
Seattle Bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see if that comes back.
I hope it comes back.
Closed down for at least 2 years.
Yeah, it's looking iffy.
2 years? What?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's long-term shutdown.
Why?
West Seattle is now an island.
Yep.
What?
Because the bridge
How?
sucks and it's not good.
Oh, it's just
Double
like the viaduct.
It's double plus ungood, Dallas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I thought it was just like, they're taking advantage of the construction time, but
So did they. Yeah.
But yeah, you-
good. So happy for my friend that moved out of West Seattle before this all happened.
Yes.
yeah, that's a nightmare, especially when people start going back to work every day.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
fucked.
people are already getting so stir crazy. They're not wanting to stay home. Like I guess.
I mean, I go out and I drive around and may or may not stop somewhere that I need to.
Like
I
a
don't
convenient-
stop. I just drive. But
No, but I'll stop at a park. I'll
Yeah,
just
yeah,
stop
yeah.
and walk randomly, or if I will stop at a gas station and just get. I have stopped a couple times to just get this or that, but yeah, I do try to limit it as much as I can. I do find myself like driving by is like, nah, I shouldn't stop, and
Yeah.
like going home or like
yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, so our local quarantine story, bringing it back to Burien Corner, which we seem to do all the time. In Zach's complex, there's this lady that lives there.
She sure does.
Yeah, she sure does live there. I'm not sure if she's back yet or not. But this lady has been kicked out of our favorite bar that you know and love, the Hobnobber.
Name dropped many a time.
Yeah,
Hope
many
it
a
comes
time.
back.
And she was 86th because she left her kid at home so she could go to the bar in her pajamas and drink.
Like a
Do I know
responsible
this
person.
Oh, you haven't heard this? Oh, okay, I'll start like...
I haven't heard that story. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so we were at the bar. I think Zach was there. I don't remember. Maybe he was there later. I might have been waiting for you guys, actually.
That's
but,
what it was.
Yeah,
we got in
she-
after you told us that.
Yeah, she was bobbing around with her Corona, like before coronavirus. No joke. And she was in her pajamas and like a hoodie and sandals and shit. And
All
it's
fucked
like,
up and-
it's like, 38 degrees outside. And
Okay,
she's,
so this is back in like February, January.
yeah, something like that. And she was bobbing around, telling the same story to everybody, which was just her life story. And then every time people would go out to smoke, she would go like get cigarettes from people. And then she introduced herself to me 2 or 3 times. And I was out there with the bartender, and she was like telling her life story and like, yeah, I got this kid and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, where's your kid now? Just like offhandedly.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, he's at home. And I'm like, oh, cool. How old is he? And she's like, he'll be 3 and blah, blah, blah. And I look at the bartender and he looks at me and we finish our cigarettes. She goes inside. And then he goes out and she leaves because the bartender had kicked her out for leaving her child at home.
Oh my god.
So
That's what we
never
call-
specified that anybody was there watching the kid. Just she pointed at it like from the bar.
The
Like,
kid wasn't
he's
even
over there.
Like the kid wasn't even in the car.
Yeah,
I
no.
just have to run in real quick, run a quick errand.
Yeah, no, it was not like that. Anyway, so she is a character, to put it lightly. and she screams in the apartment complex, according to Jacob. And
He was
I
on
don't
the
know.
other side. I didn't
Yeah,
want to
you didn't hear
it.
it, but anyway, so she lives in the basement apartment there, and a few weeks ago she called the cops on the folks who live above her, the family that lives above her, because
Very nice family.
I'm sure they are. I haven't met them. Zach probably knows who they are.
Yeah.
And so she calls the cops on the people who live above her and tell the police 911 that the husband is systematically beating the wife and child every day, all hours of the day, all the time she hears it, and they need to come take care of it.
Meanwhile, they've been playing Punch Out upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so the cops come and talk to the family and pretty quickly realize that there's nothing nefarious going on. They're just a fucking family living in an apartment.
They're a very
Yeah.
nice 4-member family that works very hard from what I see.
Yeah. And so
Jesus.
they talk to her. I'm sure they give her some sort of warning or fine or something for wasting their time. I'm not really sure what that looks like.
Could be a warning for a first time, yeah.
Yeah. And so less than 2 hours later, she's in the parking lot of the complex in just her underwear, like her panties, no top, no nothing, just like that. And it's
Letting them hang
raining.
out, yeah.
And she is like,
Topless?
yeah, like topless.
Oh my God.
Shawshank Redemption, screaming into the sky about the government, like, is after her, and people are trying to, like, you know, fucking, who knows, take her B cells to some lab in New Mexico.
She's had what we call a break.
Yes.
Jeez.
And she's already, you can already, like, I met her before and she's not all there really. She's kind of zip, zap, zop, maybe meth. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say zip zap meth.
Yeah. So she, after her Shawshank Redemption reenactment, oh, floppy kitty, she runs to Andy's Market next to Taco Time on Ambon.
Yeah,
And-
it's about 2 blocks away. Maybe
yeah,
3.
it's not too far. And she's just like whirlwind Hulk spinning in the store naked, knocking everything off the shelves. The cops come, and it's only been like 2 hours. I hope it was the same cop that talked to her and arrest her. And they hold her for psychiatric evaluation for 3 days. Hopefully she said something about the kid in her
Right.
apartment.
One would hope.
Turns out
yeah.
there's no kid.
That's what that smell
God,
was.
It's a doll that she dresses up.
That would be some next level shit right there.
Some fucking night listener shit.
Oh, God.
Well, thanks, guys. I didn't need to sleep at tonight anyway.
But yeah, quarantine making the susceptible, the little bit of crazy even more crazy.
Well, it's cracking the already cracked, much like
Yeah.
like the bridge.
exactly.
Exactly.
The ones who are cracked get cracked faster than the ones who are not. But yeah.
No, yeah. As far as anybody feeling like stir crazy, or I mean, Alex, unfortunately, you've been having to work almost every day, so
I
you've
just
been
want to go to a bar and get fucked up. That's what I want. Gimme that.
Bison Creek is opening up on the 1st.
Is it really?
Really?
Yep.
Is there pizza buffet? Also
I just want to go to a
opening
good bar and get fucked up.
Okay. Yeah. I was
That's all I
Would
want.
you like to recant your statement?
Give me that.
up? Alex's views do not reflect that. So what'd you learn? Hey, they might sponsor us. I'm just saying.
Like, I've been to dives. I like dives. I've been to nice bars. I like nice bars.
But Bison
I
Creek
don't
is
really
a
like Bison Creek.
Bison Creek is a dive bar that tries to be nice.
It
and
It
just
tries to
fancy.
be family.
Know
yeah.
your fucking place.
Yeah, know your place, trash.
Jesus Christ. Well, on that note, do we have anything else, guys, for today?
No, we'll come back at you with more quarantine stories, local or national.
We're probably going to try to have our previous guests Skype in and kind
Yeah,
of give us an update on their lives
Since
and how they're
everybody's at
doing.
home anyway.
Exactly, since we can't talk about anything but coronavirus. Actually, it was a Washington state law that passed that if you're doing media, you have to talk about coronavirus all the time. Otherwise, the government is going to come and it's going to shut you down.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe we'll have some guests back on, like
Yeah, some of your favorites.
Adam or
Yeah.
Abigail.
If there's any guests you guys, your listeners would
Whitney.
like to hear specifically, let us know, and we'll reach out to them like first and get them on post haste.
yeah,
Or we
indeed.
can get your Corona fucking experience via
Yeah,
Skype.
please.
We're gonna do that to keep y'all,
Or if you have
safe.
any weird shit that happened to you at the grocery store or something, let us know.
Yeah,
A
right
funny
in.
story. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more stories than normal out there going on day to day. But yeah, if you have a story, if you want to be on the show, just reach out to us and we will get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, we'll keep doing these loose lesson Corona type things, and we'll get as many guests in here as we can. Hopefully more than.
Yeah.
And how can the people reach us?
Oh, you can email us at sowdowedolearn@gmail.com, and you can follow us on our inactive Instagram and Twitter at sowdowedolearnpod. If you want to just stare at the before times and scroll through happy faces before they were all dying of an ear infection and potential, danger every day in the real world.
Reel it in.
Should we cue the guitars?
Goodbye, everybody. We love you. It's good to be back.
The So What Did You Learn podcast is brought to you by the So What Did You Learn Network. Theme written and recorded by Jacob Rose. Our logo was designed by Stevie Van Bronckhorst. Further work of hers can be found at stevievanb.com.